What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. With the arena coming to a close, both in RTA and regular arena, it's usually around the time where they start talking about who needs buffs for the next upcoming arena, and just buffs overall, for a lot of these units that haven't really had a chance to shine in the meta. So if you like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord link. Y'all been doing amazing on all of them, and make sure to subscribe because following this week, on Sunday, I will be talking about more guide videos, definitely helping you guys out more, and making even an edited video where you get, where it'll be a little bit better to follow, a lot easier to follow. But I think it's something that's really, really important and a skill that all of you guys should be learning. So make sure to subscribe to get that video. The other thing you might be wondering is why do I have another top 5 so close to another one? So my schedule got kind of messed up a little bit, but ideally, I want to get on a consistent schedule where you guys know what video is coming out. On Mondays, we already know it's going to be PvP. So Tuesdays will be top 5 Tuesdays. So that's the idea behind it. And then Thursdays will usually be like patch reviews, or if there's no patch, just like an update. And then Saturday, Sunday will probably be some form of guide or guides. So that's the schedule for you guys. So you guys start thinking it. That's what I'll try to be following a lot more closely as we move forward, because we are basically at 1,000. So we're basically there, y'all. We're doing awesome. But all right. On to the actual video. Sorry for the long intro. Now let's jump to the video. Top 5 units. So they're going to announce the Spectre Tenebria skin. It could be a new hero. I highly doubt it. Like for the teaser they showed, that looked like a Spectre Tenebria skin. They will say the next character in rotation later on. But the Spectre Tenebria skin, as I said, the hero, the hero will come, how it look, RTA, and usually around the time where the new RTA season will start, or the new arena season starts, they usually announce who's getting buffs. So I wanted to make this video now so we know who are some of the characters that really need it. So all right, now onto the list. More disclaimers. I know you guys are probably like, you've been talking for like 2 minutes straight. You didn't even take a breath. How are you doing this? But now the disclaimers for the top 5. These are based mostly on my opinion. I did read a couple of like comments here and there, like in Reddit and the Facebook group of what people want. But for the most part, it is going to be my own thoughts for majority of the list. The other thing is 3 stars will not be included in this list because they are specialty change heroes. I think all the 3 stars, once they get specialty change, they're usually pretty good. So that's just, there's no point in talking about them for buffs and nerfs. And then for the last thing for this list, so just to summarize it, so it'll be mostly based on my opinion, but with some data and like just usage rates overall. The other one is that no 3 stars will be in here, and the last one is that the ranking is they're giving some bias to the rarity of the unit. So just know that because it doesn't mean that number 5 doesn't need a buff as much as number 1. It's just that number 1 is a lot more rare and definitely deserves a buff more than the 2 and 3. But all right. With disclaimers out of the way, let's get to number 5. So number 5 is going to be Kali. So why Kali? So you could technically use her for Wyvern, right? But she's not that good for Wyvern. And there are so many better units. One of them being free to play that anyone can build, which is Alexa. So what's the point if you pull a Kali? Why would you ever build Kali? Unless you just really liked her. Because if we look at the skills, skill 1, if you're stealthed, you attack twice. Okay, so Alexa attacks twice regardless. Like, she doesn't even need stealth for that. And she gets like a poison on the skill 2. This, no debuffs, nothing, doesn't help you for Wyvern that much. This one gives you the stealth and a barrier, so kind of nice. Make sure you keep stealth in PvP if you don't get blown out of the water by an AoE skill, which there are a lot, like a Seaside, on CC, Lilius, whatever. And then last one, stuns. This one's kind of unique, but it can't dispel buffs. So if they have immunity, which like it's pretty common in high level arena for them to have immunity, this skill's just useless. It's just giving you stealth. And that's it. And you're not outspeeding any priority target because you're at 111 and you're water, so you lose to Basar. So it's like, what are you bringing to the table besides just damage? And the damage isn't even that high compared to like a lot of other units in this game. So that's kind of what I want you to think about with the number 5. They just don't have a place. Like, this unit doesn't have a place. He gets completely outclassed by other heroes, and there is absolutely almost no reason, except that you really like the character, to ever build it. So that's the thing with Kali. That's why she's number 5. She really does need a buff. She's been around for so long, and no one talks about her. When you think Kali, you think Assassin Kali. You don't think regular Kali, which is kind of sad. Number 4. So number 4 is going to be Kawasu. Kawasu. So I know I'm mispronouncing his name. Y'all, if you know how to spell it, let me know in the comments. I suck at spelling, so let me know how you say him. But for now, we're going to call him Kawasu because, I don't know, it just sounds good to me. So Kawasu. So he was actually in the storyline, and he actually was a pretty big part of it. He took up like 2 to 3 chapters of the storyline, and he appeared at the end and through the middle, and he was like a massive part of the storyline. But what does he do? Is he good for Golem? So he is a connection hero. Furious is like probably the best connection hero that I know of right now, besides maybe like Yuna and Mama Rancy. But like Kawasu, you would think, oh, let's let them help them in Golem. But he doesn't do Golem. He doesn't do PvP. He doesn't farm. What is he doing? Does he provide anything? So skill 1, a burn. Okay. Nothing crazy. Like, yeah, okay, damage over time. Okay, maybe, I guess, you know. Skill 3, decrease defense unhealable on single target. So you're like, okay, this could be used for Golem. Could be. So you get 100% decreased defense. But you have a lot of other units that do that. Like Champ C, you have Buccaneer Cleary. Yes, Champ C is not 100%. But, you know, he's often used because he can just counterattack the Golem. So he's just way better. So maybe you don't have him. But there's just other, like Falconeer Cleary is the biggest one I can think of is Falconeer Cleary. Because he strips the Golem of the attack buff and then gives the decreased defense. Yes, he's fire, so he gets extra damage. But also, like, if you're not doing enough damage, this just gets dispelled. It's on a pretty short cooldown, so okay, it's decent for Golem. This skill is okay for Golem. And then the skill 2, y'all, this skill 2 has so much potential. When I see this skill 2, I'm like, this character would be amazing. And I envision him being similar to an Apocalypse Ravi. Because Apocalypse Ravi uses Timeless Anchor or Crimson Seed, most popular. Like, those are more popular artifacts. And that restricts her artifact choice. If she had a passive like this one on top of the passive she already has, she'd be nuts. And Kawasu has access to this. He could get like Sigurd's Scythe. So this is just basically a cleanse. And it's pretty strong. It gives him attack buff, it cleanses, and if you build him fast enough, every 2 turns you're cycling that. In Golem, that's actually pretty good. So in Golem, he could be used. He could be used. He's not absolutely useless, but he still gets just outclassed. If you have a Champ C, you're never touching this guy. If you have a Surmia, probably not touching this guy. Unless you really need a dedicated decreased defense. But you can probably just slap on one of your arena ones that you use. Falconeer Cleary is one unit that I'm just going to keep saying because she's honestly the best decreased defense in the game. Yes, she attacks a lot, so maybe he has this advantage on her, but man, it's just so disappointing because he has so much potential to be so good in the game. With this skill 2 and this skill 3, at least make him more designated towards Golem. So make it so maybe he can do more damage the more debuffs, or do damage, like if this skill could do damage based on the enemy's missing or on the enemy's max health, I feel like he could be so much better. But right now he doesn't see any play. No one's going to use him, no one. And I think he deserves it. You know, like he deserves a little bit of love. So that's it for Kawasu. Now for the number 3. So now we're getting to more rare. So I'm not 100% sure if ML4 stars are more rare at this point than 5 stars. But I think at this point it's getting close, but not quite there. But at number 3, it is going to be an ML4 star, and everyone probably knows who it's going to be, and that is going to be Roaming Leo. So y'all, I highly recommend you watch the video on YouTube that's called like ML Leo doesn't need a buff, or like Roaming Warrior Leo doesn't need a buff. And it's just a meme video showing how bad ML Leo is. Holy moly, y'all. This unit is actually kind of trash. So the stats say damage dealer, but the skills say bruiser, but you need damage, but you're not doing your damage right away. It takes you some time, and you can't dispel any buffs, and your debuffs aren't that like scary. So let's just talk about it. So skill 1, decrease attack. Okay, that's fine, goes up to 50. Not the worst, but definitely kind of low on the list. Skill 2, at first I saw this and I thought, okay, it's actually pretty good. But then I realized it's single target. So Judge Kise, much better job. Regular Kise, much better job. Who else resets cooldown? Cowrick? Cowrick can also strip. This doesn't strip. If they have immunity, as we mentioned before, This is doing nothing. This skill does absolutely nothing. Like, what is this skill doing? I don't get it. You know, like, maybe you get lucky, but it's one turn. Like, is one turn really going to be the difference between you winning a fight and losing it? With him, probably not. So that's that. And then the ultimate. So this is his gimmick. You know, because all MLL heroes have a gimmick that makes them unique, that makes them people want to play that unit. And then you have MLAO instead the bomb. And you're like, okay, bomb sounds kind of strong, right? So it's like you apply it for 2 turns. And then so they get it, and then they get 1 turn. And then the next turn explodes and stuns them. That sounds pretty good. You know, like that's in Summoner's War. And bomb teams are like super big, even though they require some setup. But you know, they're pretty unique. But then they just didn't do it right. Because it's proportionate to caster's attack. And it's just so sad. So first off, before the bomb, okay, an idea, pretty good, right? This goes not 100%. You guys see the effectiveness? You max mull at this, you are 90%. Yeah, they didn't even give him the 100%. 90%. That means if RNG hates you, only one person is getting the bomb. Or no one. No one could get the buff. Yes, that's not going to happen often, but that can happen. And then you have to check effect resistance on top of all of this, because you can't soul burn it to guarantee you to land. So that's what? 10% chance for you not to even land. And then there's going to be another 15% chance that they just resisted. And if you don't build enough effectiveness on him, it's not even going to land it. And what does this do? Can the bomb be dispelled? Yes. This bomb can be dispelled. You can literally just use a Montmorency skill 2, a Royal Light skill 2, a Lilia skill 3. It's gone. It gives them a full turn to react to it. And if they have immunity, it doesn't stun, it just does damage. And it really doesn't do that much damage. That's the other part. This skill does like no damage. So what I think they need... Oh, the other thing is it has to attack. So if he misses, like on a Assassin Cartuja, GG, he's not landing anything. Yo, I just don't understand why they made this mechanic so bad. I don't know if they were scared of it. The only thing they have to do to fix Leo is make this skill dispel buffs, like 1 buff. You know, like it can be kind of weak. You know, whatever. Make it dispel 1 buff. And then make this skill so that it's 100% and either can't be resisted, like inherently, because like, okay, yes, it's pretty strong, but if you can just dodge it, man, that's not even scary. And then with Celine and ML Violet coming out, oh my god, he's gonna be more useless. Like, I don't know, they really need to work on this guy. He might need a whole rework, but he's just not doing hot, y'all. He really is not doing hot at all. Definitely probably one of the units that needs the buff the most. But alright, before we get to the top 2, I want to give an honorable mention to Mercedes. So I did talk about her in the specialty change, but she's a unit with a lot of potential, who only brings damage to the table, nothing else. So really needs a buff, because she just does damage and doesn't have like extra turns like Celestial Mercedes. And that's it. She doesn't do anything. So that's her, but I talked about her more in the specialty change, which is why she's not included. But she would most definitely be included in this list if I hadn't talked about her before, and if I didn't think she needed more of a specialty change, just because she is the main heroine. So that's the caveat. So now let's get to the top 2. So number 2. So we're getting to the 5 stars now. I don't think there's any ML 5-star right now that's absolutely useless. With ML Tywin buff, people say Sage Ball and Sasan, but hot take, he can still function. He still functions pretty well. He's actually not the worst. I've seen some really good ones. So hot take, I know some people are going to be like, what are you talking about? You crazy. But I think he's not bad, you know? Like, if you ban Fallen Cecilia in RTA, and they just have immunity, he can put them all to sleep, because he dispels the debuff. Dispels the buffs. So I don't think Sage Ball is up here, but for number 2, we do have his regular form, regular Ball and Sasan. So number 2, regular Ball and Sasan. Why is he up here? I really want this guy to be good. And he's so close. He's like so close to actually being a massive threat. He's like a buff away from being meta. Which, you know, I don't like his design, but I have to hand it to him. He's 1 buff away. So let's look at the skill 1. So skill 1, Poison, effect chance goes up to 50. Nothing crazy, but you know, Poison is not bad. You know, maybe they can buff this up to be higher. But that's not even what the main gimmick is about. Skill 2. Summons a cloud of darkness, attacks all of them, does damage based on the number of debuffs. When the enemy is defeated, the cooldown on last Requiem is reset. Whew. Dark Requiem, what does it do? AoE attack that does decreased defense, decreased speed, unhealable. Yo, these debuffs are crushing, and this goes up to 85%, which is pretty high up there. And he's a mage, so you have to remember he has the class to be really, really good, which is mage. It's the best one for like cleave teams, so he has the mage class. He has a solid skill 3 and a pretty good skill 2. So why is he not being used? Well, when you think cleavers, you have to think of like the common ones. So one of them is Tywin. Why is Tywin used so much more over him, even though this skill provides so much? Consistency in this game is everything. Because this is not 100%, you don't want this for your cleave. And that's the biggest problem. That's what really, really hurts him. This is not good for cleave because it's not 100%. Tywin does. And then he doesn't have a follow-up like Tywin does. Tywin can then increase the buff, like increase attack and crit rate on someone else. And Tywin is tanky, so he doesn't just get absolutely destroyed by Ken, because he doesn't stop any of the offensive stats. So that's thing number 1, why the skill is not good enough. The other thing is Tenebria, who got super overworked, can AoE, decrease defense, and sleep. So if you don't get the cleave off, you can still sleep priority target units and be able to just cycle, and then her first skill cycles so hard. The other thing is that this skill is just a damage skill, but once you kill, you have to wait a whole other rotation. An ammo cannon this time can probably kill you. If like from the skill 3, he can already kill you. And if you make him a tank, this skill's not going to be killing. So it really is so close. Like the reason why I say it's so close is because can y'all imagine if he could soul burn this? Like this is just extra damage. But what if they change the soul burn on this skill to give him an extra turn? Then he could actually cleave on his own. Then he'd be really, really strong. I think just changing this to give him extra turn can put him on the map. Literally just that one change can put him on the map for being a pretty strong cleave unit. Yes, you still rely on the decreased defense, which is not something you want to rely on, but at least it makes it so it's scary. It makes it so it's something that you're afraid of. The other thing that they could do is add some form of sleep, or make it so it's like Vivian just does this same thing similarly, but she can also buff herself. Like, I don't know. He definitely has the potential to be really, really strong. So I really want him to get a buff. Because I've been pulling like a million of them, like in the course of me playing Epic 7, and I think he has potential to be really, really, really good. And then last, but definitely not least, in the slightest, is going to be Haste. So why is he at the top? So Haste has a very sad backstory, and I'm not talking about his lore. I'm talking about the fact that he used to be one of the most coveted units in Epic 7 when the game first came out. Everyone wanted ML Haste. He was the best for all hunts. He was the best for a bunch of PvE content. He was one of the best cleavers at the time. People hadn't figured out BBK as well. And BBK I think even got a buff. Like her damage got a buff increase, which is why she's so good now. So it's like Haste used to be like one of the most coveted units in Epic 7 because he had the fire typing, he was spicing, and people loved the design. But right now, let's just look over the skill. So skill 1, bleed. As we mentioned, bleed, not the best. It only is 50%. Nothing crazy. You're not doing anything super crazy. Skill 2, super unique. Vampiric touch, no one else. Oh, well, Cerelia has it, so I can say no one else. But Cerelia has Vampiric touch. But this one, 3 debuffs in one go, pretty good. That's actually really, really solid. Unhealable, bleed, and Vampiric touch, so you heal off when your enemies attack. So okay, and the soul burn is on this skill. And then the AoE is just more bleeds, and that's about it, and high damage. So nothing crazy there. So before, this used to be crazy because not a lot of units could do high AoE damage and apply bleeds and then come back with a second skill that lets them heal off of damage dealt. And then in hunts, he was such a good PvE unit. But this guy needs a full rework. Like, I can't believe that they actually released his ML version without fixing his regular version. And I know there's people that can still use him in content, and they still do, especially in Golem, because, you know, this is still a pretty decent buff for Golem. This is still a pretty decent attack for Golem. But there's just better units for Golem than Haste. He just doesn't bring anything to the table that other units don't already do better. And he's one of the OGs, y'all. Like, he used to be so high up, and he's just fallen so far down. And he's just one of the coolest characters in this game. And I just think he really needs a buff. His ML counterpart is doing super good right now. Everyone loves ML Haste. Regular Haste is like, who's that? Was he even in the game? Who is this kid? So I definitely do think he needs something. What? I don't know. I think he needs a full rework. I really do think his current kit just doesn't cut it. He needs something else in the skill 3. He needs a lot more in the skill 2. And then the skill 1, you know, it also needs some stuff. So I need some love. He needs some love. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know if I missed any of the heroes that you really, really want for them to get a buff. And we can discuss it. But, you know, hopefully as time goes on, all the heroes can eventually be at a pretty good level. Right now, biggest things in the like, more units need more counters. There's units that definitely need more counters. Big one, I honestly think, kind of a hot take, I think MLCC does need a check. She doesn't really have a unit that checks her. So I definitely do think MLCC needs someone to check how good she is. Charles needs someone to check how good he is. CZ has a few, but not that many. But that is all. Let me know in the comments if I missed anyone. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll be back with more content for y'all this week. So make sure to subscribe. I'm so excited for the guy videos, especially the edited one. I'm super excited to make that one too, because it's something that is really exciting. And I think you guys will really, really like it. But yeah, that's all. Peace.